Imagine living in a courtyard, or in my case, a front patio, where every move you make is visible to your neighbor. How would that impact your sense of security, your ability to relax, or your personal dignity? This scenario brings us to a profound concept discussed in the Talmud that is still incredibly relevant today, hezek re'iyah, the harm caused by being observed without consent. The Talmud, particularly in Masechet Batra, emphasizes the sanctity of private space through this principle. Hezek re'iyah refers to the notion that the invasion of privacy caused by looking into someone else's property is not just an inconvenience. It is considered actual damage. In the Talmudic context, it's not simply about the physical harm one might suffer, but also about preserving personal dignity and the quiet enjoyment of one's space. This principle highlights an important insight. Privacy is not only a matter of preventing physical harm, it's about protecting a person's ability to maintain their dignity. It serves as a foundation for understanding how we should interact with others, respecting their boundaries, and the sanctity of their personal lives. In Batra, the opening sugya discusses a disagreement between two neighbors over the construction of a fence. One wishes to build a fence to block the other's view of his property, but the second neighbor doesn't want to be separated. The rabbis debate whether the first neighbor can force the second to contribute to the cost of building the fence. Some argue that hezek re'iyah is not real damage, and thus does not warrant a legal claim. However, the Talmud concludes that privacy violations do constitute tangible harm, and people are indeed entitled to the privacy of their space. This ruling underscores the importance of safeguarding personal dignity and the right to live without being observed against one's will. Modern examples can help illustrate how this principle applies to our lives today. In urban design, consider the discomfort of a large building looming over your backyard, or surveillance cameras aimed at your private property. Even if no malicious intent exists, these situations violate the principle of hezek re'iyah by infringing upon your privacy, creating a tangible loss of comfort and freedom. Similarly, the rise of social media, where personal information about others can be shared without consent, mirrors this Talmudic prohibition. In both cases, the harm is not just about the act of looking, it's about how it affects a person's sense of self and their self-esteem. In the workplace, an open-plan office layout may not be a physical intrusion, but it can create a sense of discomfort similar to hezek re'iyah, especially when employees cannot have private conversations or work without being observed. Providing spaces for confidential discussions reflects the halachic emphasis on privacy. In fact, respecting others' privacy goes beyond physical barriers. It involves fostering an environment of dignity and mutual respect. In conclusion, the Talmudic principle of hezek re'iyah underscores the sanctity of private space, addressing both tangible harm and subjective sensitivity. This concept is deeply relevant today, not only in physical spaces, but also in the digital age. Whether we are designing our homes, workplaces, or navigating social media, we must ask ourselves, do my actions respect the boundaries and privacy of others? How can I create sanctity in the space I share with others? By building walls to protect privacy, we also build walls that honor the human soul. In sanctifying private space, we sanctify the image of God within each individual. Lastly, I want to express my heartfelt gratitude to the entire Hadran team, with a special hakarat hatov to Rabbanit Michelle Farber for guiding me on this incredible journey. You have expanded my horizons and encouraged me to step out of my comfort zone. As a young girl studying Talmud, I must admit I wasn't an enthusiastic learner. But Michelle, you've given me a new lease on life when it comes to learning. You've opened up an entire world of Torah knowledge and fostered a sense of community that really has been transformative. To anyone joining us for the first time, I encourage you to dive in. It's never too late to start. We always begin on Amud Bet for a reason. Our learning has no beginning and no end. Hadran alach Masechet Bava Batra v'hadrach alan. Thank you.